this video is not a Mr. Beast challenge. Maybe it is actually. I got locked in a psychiatric hospital. Look if I will survive. That was cringe, I'm sorry. Listen, I will get to the psychiatric hospital part later, because yes, it was real. I had to go to the psychiatric hospital because my health was pretty critical. But to actually unfold the story and explain why I needed to get there, I need to start from the pretty early beginning, because the beginning when I was 8 years old, because some people don't realize the story. Why did I even need to go to the psychiatric hospital? And it will actually explain why am I wearing Twitch, why am I wearing Twitch, and why the channel actually needs to take a different turn, and why am I even making this video in the first place, and why did making films partially impact my health to the point where I needed to go to the psychiatric hospital. But let's start from the beginning. Not many people know it, but when I was 8 years old, I was actually crushed by a car in a quite critical way. I actually had my skull crushed in 2 places and actually had a concussion, and not only that, I actually had a brain edema as well. The first days doctor said that I probably won't survive the crash. The next days doctor said that I will survive the crash, but I probably will be on a wheelchair for the rest of my life. But then the doctor said that I'm actually a miracle and I will actually walk. So I am a miracle apparently. But I didn't survive it quite in a miracle way, I'd say. Since the car crash, I started getting diagnoses for a lot of things. The first thing that I've gotten when I was about 9 years old was Asperger's syndrome. That was pretty light. I will say that was pretty light. And that stayed for pretty much the rest of my life. By the way, for my entire life, I pretty much had to take meds. I don't recall a time in my life that I didn't have to take meds. So that's awesome. Usually my treatment was going fine, and I had one doctor that actually diagnosed me with schizophrenia. I was really against that diagnosis. Like, I didn't understand. I was really confused because I didn't hear voices, I didn't have hallucinations, so that didn't make sense. But the thing about that diagnosis was that meds that I had to take for schizophrenia were actually amazing. So that's why I'm chilling with schizophrenia in my diagnosis. I didn't believe it at all, but I guess my meds were working with schizophrenia in them. I guess I was taking schizophrenia meds. I felt amazing, and the proof for that was the 𝙎𝙤𝙘 live year 2024. The year of the 𝙎𝙤𝙘 live. Literally the best year of my life. I don't remember a time or a year of my life when I had more fun. The amount of streams that gave me so much joy is absolutely through the roof. But oh boy, that didn't last for long. Pretty soon, my state started decreasing slowly, and soon after, it started being pretty bad. And I started trying to call the doctor, who gave me the meds for schizophrenia. And the doctor didn't pick up. And I started calling her many times, many times, and she just didn't pick up. What could you do if the doctor just doesn't pick up the phone? Me and my parents got the idea to call the other doctor, because one of our friends recommended another doctor in another city. So we went to the doctor that the friend recommended, and the doctor that the friend recommended gave me another diagnosis. Just look at it, it's actually insane. It's an actual textual. And of course, since I got a different diagnosis, I got different meds. And oh boy, yeah, it went downhill from there. So at the end of 2024, I decided I'm gonna do a break from Twitch streaming, and I'm gonna put all the energy and all of my time into one video that is pretty much gonna break the entire community of Adofi. And at the time, I thought this is gonna be a good idea. I mean, I don't think I ever said it publicly. I mean, my friends know it, but it always was my biggest dream. I always wanted to make an Adofi documentary, so I thought that's it, that's gonna be it. Kill me. So I started the project, and the meds that I've gotten from the new doctor were actually really good. I will say they were actually really good at start. Soon later though, I ended up having more and more symptoms of actual psychosis. And That's not fun, I'm real. I experienced that, that's actually not fun, you don't want it. Why did I need to explain it? I'm actually so stupid. The main meds that I was taking from the new doctor were pretty much just antidepressants and something else. I don't even remember what they were for. But the meds that I was taking from the new doctor were absolutely not for schizophrenia. And they did not cure my psychosis. It was getting worse, like bad, like bad, you know, bad, like the guy from bad, like bad, you know, bad. So we didn't know what to do, because we couldn't get to the first doctor, because she didn't pick up the phone for like, literally like a year, like, it was actually insane, I'm real, it was actually insane. So all we could do is literally was just going to the new doctor all over again and over again and over again. And he was just adjusting the new meds all over again, all over again, all over again, all over again, all over. And that didn't work, I mean it worked, but just short term, like really short term. And that, I'm real, it didn't translate into my project at all. It didn't translate well at all. I started being such an extreme perfectionist. I couldn't finish 5 seconds of a video without spending an entire day on that chunk. An entire day on 5 seconds! And yeah, that didn't help my health at all. At all. Combined with my medical health, every time I try to make an artistic video or like a big film, I cannot get myself into a state of trying to ignore mistakes. I have to make everything perfect. And with movies or films, I cannot pull out a project without spending an ungodly amount of time on one small chunk. I was saying on my socials, on Discord, on YouTube community posts, on even my big video, I was saying that I hate the content, I hate the streaming content, I hate the ADHD content, right? But all of that happened because my state was absolutely critical low. And all of that was caused because my diagnosis from the new doctor was absolutely garbage. And none of the stuff that he gave me the meds for was actually correct. None of this was actually correct. If I had to be honest, the reason why I was saying that I hate the mainstream, the happy, the upbeat content, and why I adored the dark, the downbeat, the moody movies was I was so indifferent. I didn't care. I was so indifferent on the life itself back then. I didn't care about anything at that state. At that time, nothing really gave me joy, nothing really made me happy, not only normal content made me happy, not only making movies make me happy, so all I tried to do here was just making my dream come true, which was making an Adobe documentary, which was always my dream, so I just tried to follow it. I pretty much tried to use the opportunity of being so indifferent on life to just make my dream come true. But getting back to the health topic, the meds that the new doctor was giving me were absolutely horrible, and the psychosis was getting so bad that my life was actually being unbearable. My state, I would say, has never been as critical as at this state. We didn't really know what to do, but there was one option that we knew about, but we were really scared of, which was... No, you say it, you say it. Come on, audience engagement, audience engagement! You say, no, you say it. Oh, I forgot, you can't say it because it's not a live performance. Come on, crowd engagement, come on. One morning my mom suggested I get put into a psychiatric hospital and I replied, yeah, okay. Yeah, I genuinely was this indifferent. I absolutely didn't care. On 2nd of December 2025, I drove to the hospital expecting that I'm gonna be here max 2 weeks. Maybe 1 week, probably 1 week. That was a good foreshadowing, by the way. To be honest, I think many people are actually overestimating how bad is an experience in a psychiatric hospital, like thinking that a psychiatric hospital is like only for psychopaths or like sociopaths. To be honest, most of the people that I met here weren't really too different from the people that you just meet on the streets. The problems that these people had were usually just being socially anxious and depressed, or some people here had just drug addictions or alcohol addictions. Some people actually had like Asperger's or schizophrenia, but they weren't people too different from people on the streets. This wasn't actually a bad experience. I actually felt kinda at home. Of course there were exceptions. For example, there was this one guy like 19, 20 years old who was in an isolation room, who was non-stop banging on the door, just banging on the door non-stop. He was screaming and yelling and just banging on the door non-stop, just banging on this door, just non-stop banging. But what is actually interesting is that the meds that I was actually getting in the hospital were again meds for schizophrenia. Yeah, the first doctor actually was foreshadowing. By the way, if you are wondering what kind of diagnosis did I get in the hospital, they make no sense at all, because I am getting meds for schizophrenia and epilepsy right now, and the diagnosis that I got in the hospital is Asperger's syndrome and personality disorder. Crazy. I'm a real. At one point I didn't even think that I'm gonna leave it. Like, I got so used to the hospital, I didn't even think I'm gonna leave it. On the 28th of January, I finally left the hospital after almost 2 months. Okay, that's not a clickbait. Almost 2 months, like without 4 days, almost. But what now? Since I am out of the hospital and I am probably now, of course not cured, but I have a proper treatment. What now? You know that I announced that I'm gonna switch my content to the films, only the big productions and all of that. Boys, this is literally humanly unrealistic. There are quite a bit of issues with making these big productions, I will say. First one being, the process is pretty much absolutely garbage and fun. The amount of work you need to put into it, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. One example that I have is this chunk of a video that lasts 9 seconds. 9 seconds. And these 9 seconds that are fully rendered in 3D took me 5 days. 5 days! Now, the process is an absolute nightmare. Is the end result worth it? I'm gonna be honest. No. No. It's not. I will be real, I genuinely thought that I'm gonna be rewatching this video all over again and over again. I'm gonna be proud of myself, I'm gonna be rewatching this video all over again and over again. I'm gonna be like, oh my, I made it, I made this video, I'm so proud of myself, I made this video, I made it after an entire year. But I felt so disgust of this video, I felt trauma of this video. Like, I didn't even want to open it. I wanted to forget about this video's existence. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Genuinely, maybe it's just my experience with these type of projects. Maybe it's just me. I will say it, I have more of projects like this. I made 3 of them. I have 2 short projects that are 2-minute long, and I have the big one that is like 30 minutes long. I have them, I cannot watch them. I feel disgust about them because of how long did it take me. I wanna forget about them because of how much I went through to make them. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it is just me. But I dislike watching this again because I just wanna forget about the struggles that I had making these videos. But you know what's actually funny? Remember the projects that I insulted for being too mainstream, too formulated? In the recent months, I rewatched them so many times, and I laughed at them. Like, I had fun watching them because they were funny, they weren't serious, they were light-hearted. and I didn't put that much effort into them. Like, I put effort into them, like little bit effort into them, like I put a week into them, like maybe a week, maybe like 2 weeks, but they were enjoyable to watch because they were lighthearted, they weren't serious, they were upbeat, they were like, they were energetic, and they were happy, and that's what I wanted, like that's what I need happiness, bro, I need happiness. I genuinely wanna go back to being happy again. I don't wanna get emotional or something, but I genuinely wanna go back to being upbeat. And that's why I wanna go back to 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙧𝙚𝙀 Live, bro. 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙧𝙚 Live was the prime. The time when everything was happy, when everything was upbeat, and everything was happy, bro. Everything was silly and goofy. We want that, dude. We need happiness. We need silliness. Like, this is unsustainable. We cannot be serious our entire lives. Like, this is insane. That's why I'd like to welcome the comeback of streaming content! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! My goodness! What a flip did I do?